So we now know that in the so-called Middle East, a ceasefire just means they sort of slow down a little bit. That's Donald Trump educating everybody. A ceasefire isn't really a ceasefire. It's just kind of a taking a pause and a break and shooting less. And they're still duking it out, but just not on as an intense basis. That's a Trump ceasefire. Yep, old Donnie Trump. Man, what a trip. And then, of course, we're going to keep the UFC cage match monstrosity on the White House lawn. He's thinking about renaming it the I'm Full of Shit Tower. Right there in front of the White House. He's gonna see if he can keep it. And then, of course, we got Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi can't testify. She can't tell what she knows. Hell, they'll kill her. Are you shitting me? She knows all the dirty secrets. And then, of course, we've got, let's see, Alan Greenspan telling everybody in the world that the United States can't default on its debt. It's impossible because they can print all the money they want. Imagine that. They just run them printing presses on turbo high speed and pay off. Why don't they just print one $40 trillion bill? One of those, not redeemable Federal Reserve notes. Why don't they print one big old note for 40 trillion and let the American people off the hook? Just a thought. Let's see, what else is crazy? Oh, yeah. 25 million suspicious activity reports being secreted and concealed by the Justice Department and FinCEN. 25 million. And then there's apparently 3 million more Jeffrey Epstein Pedo Island files they're not releasing. You can't make this shit up, folks. You can't make it up. They're hiding 3 million Trump and Epstein and Clinton and all the other whore masters that went to the Pedo Island and Zorro Ranch. They're hiding 3 million of those files while they're secreting and hiding 25 million of the dirty, secretive SARS, the suspicious activity reports on the world's dirtiest bankers. If you have any questions, just get a hold of Trey Gowdy. Trey Gowdy can explain it to you. And get a hold of Sean Taylor, the assistant police chief there from Millersville, Tennessee. He can talk to you about the Act Blue magic mortgages. And I don't know, I guess Elon Musk can tell you all about those magic secret government computers that print trillions right out of the thin air. I wonder who's getting all those magical trillions they print out of thin air, Elon Musk. Who gets all that gravy train? All right, let's get back to all the Palestinians that are being slaughtered and murdered by Milikowski, the nitwit of Yahoo there of Tel Aviv and what do they call it there? Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Old nitwit the Yahoo, I'm a Bolshevik Polak. Some bitch isn't even Semitic. He's from Poland. And he he grew up in New York City. I don't think that qualifies you as being a Semitic Jew, but I don't know. He's friends with Donald Trump. I guess anything is possible. You tell a lie, you tell enough lies, right, Donald Trump? Yeah. Boy, I tell you, this whole country's in some pretty sad shape. Yeah, I saw the lady from Code Pink touch that lunatic Luna on her sleeve. Barely touched her, just a couple fingers on the back of her jacket. And lunatic Luna went apeshit and accused her of assault. Oh, my God almighty. Tried to get her arrested by Capitol Police, but the Capitol Police said, nah, we don't think so. You know, I really do like the work Code Pink does. I think they're the only sane ones in D.C., to be honest about it. And all this crap that they're communists and all this other horse shit's just, you know, it's horse shit, what it is. I just feel sorry for all them little kids that are getting dismembered and crushed and, you know, starved to death. While Donald Trump has his big fancy buffet lunches and his great big fancy parties and, you know, $1,000 a bottle champagne and all this other crap at the ballrooms of the country where Donald Trump posses up with all of his pals and eats these unbelievable feasts, like what they feed him on Air Force One. Well, Donald Trump ain't going hungry. Take a look at that fat slob. But I guess starving the Palestinian people is, you know, white phosphorus for the people in Lebanon and rockets and missiles and bombs for the people of Iran. You know, wipe out the whole civilization, right, Donald Trump? Yeah. Wipe them out where they can't ever come back. Good stuff, folks. I'm telling you, boy, the old United States of America is hitting on all 8 cylinders, right? Yeah, buddy. Holy shit. I guess he was screaming at BB, you know, Nitwit the he was screaming at him, calling him a crazy fuck. And he told him that the only reason he's not in jail is because of Trump. And the only reason there is in Israel is because of Trump. So apparently all this shit's Trump's fault. By his own admission, he's admitting to it right out of his own mouth. I got him on video. The only reason BB, the internationally wanted war criminal, isn't in jail is because Donald Trump's protecting him. Wow. What a statement, America. What a statement. All the links and information you need are below. And as always, hasta la vista, God bless. And BB, Nitwit the Yahoo, the butcher of Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. The only reason he's not in a jail cell is because Don Trump is harboring him.